Good morning all. It's all go here. Friday morning. Obviously today is the viewing day for the online auction. We've also got maize harvest starting. So we've got some tractors washed off, some trailers hitched up, ready to go later on today. Tony's got a power harrow drill on just to go and do 5 acres of grass seeds. Flynn's doing a bit of hedge trimming. So it's busy. We'll head down to the sale field shortly and do a little walk around of what's there, and then we'll catch up with maize harvest later on and whatever else is going on. So okay. Stay with me. So maize harvest is starting. We are doing some of our own first because the AD plant have run out of maize. So we're taking a little bit now to get them through the weekend before we head off to one of our customers. And then from there, we will start our harvest proper on Monday. For the time being, we're just giving them a few loads to get them through the weekend. So here we are, finally, our own maize harvest is starting. I'm recording this voiceover from a maize field at the end of the day, just trying to remember what we were doing this morning. So Will's here, firing maize over the top of Andrew in a little Claas, I think it's called an Arion. Obviously not what you're used to seeing Andrew in, which is his 8R370, but that one is at this point down in the auction field. So Andrew jumped in this little wagon today. This is what Hamley's delivered the demo drill with and said by all means give it a go. And Andrew saw the lunchbox that was in it and was dead keen to see how she handled in comparison. Not entirely sure he'll be looking to go from 400 horsepower there or thereabouts down to around 200. But I'll try and convince him it's a good idea. So Will passes on to Harry here. And makes his way back down on the third cut along this headland. You can see the loop where he's returned a tractor back around to base on his headland run. This block is just 20 acres, 2 fields, about 20 acres that we've got, and it's only a couple of miles from the AD plant where it's destined to go. As I said, they ran out of last year's maize just as this year's maize is starting, so pretty well planned there. But as we weren't intending on getting to them by Monday, we had to make sure we took off this field this morning before we harvest for our customer this afternoon, which is actually where I am at the moment that I'm recording this voiceover. So Andrew heads off back down the road, and we'll catch up with Will and Harry making their way back up this headland. You can see a few little down patches in the maize, which we'll have a look at shortly. Looks like it's deer damage. A few snapped off plants, unfortunately. But Will did say from the forager it doesn't look quite as bad as it would from the drone in terms of the number of plants damaged. The Will's just filling Harry here. Harry driving his 370. Dad's just going to jump up with Will and just see how the forage is going. while the harvester's waiting for another trailer, just come and have a look at the maize. You would have seen on that video that there's a few down areas. Looks like from flying the drone over, it's a bit of deer damage, because the maize is it's grown and it's been trampled down and laid in. If I show you just here, it's yeah, you can see it's been snapped off, trampled down. So there's a little bit of deer damage in this, but it seems to be an okay crop. It's yeah, performing all right as yet. We'll obviously check after the whole field's come off and see how it turns out on a per acre basis. We've got a good idea then in terms of varieties and how they're doing and how they compare to each other at the end of harvest. Although without looking back at my sheet, I can't actually remember what variety went in here off the top of my head. I think it was potentially Duke, but don't hold me to that. So we decided to take off that entire field rather than just bring 3 loads in. So Dad's just popped up with the plant handler just to push some maize back in a sensible way, push it up sensible so that he can buck rake it in better. The buck rake has been brought up, but Dad's tractor's obviously out of action at the moment. So we're just tipping in front of the whole crop at the moment, just for what we're bringing in now. We're going to use the weight of this trailer to calibrate the forager weights, which will give us a much better idea of the exact tonnage that's coming off. Obviously we'll have the weighbridge report at the end, but it gives us an idea as we're harvesting how the crops are doing. So Harry's got the last load from that field, just pushing that out of his trailer. Then from here, Will and these trailers will head off towards Winkley. We'll be cutting maize for a customer for the rest of the day and for tomorrow morning. So I'll let you all know that I'll do a little update from the online auction we've got going on. We've got a viewing day today that a few people have been in and around. So I'll just do a little really quick walkthrough of the kind of stuff that we've got here. A buck rake, got some buckets and implements there, some weights, the plough as mentioned that Andrew was using earlier this week. Got a couple of drills, fert drill, power harrow drill that Tony actually used this morning. A couple of front tanks, horse front tanks. Got bed former, a ridger, which is like a rotavator on the front, and then it puts the ground into ridges for when we used to grow a lot of Swedes. Obviously these two implements we no longer use without growing Swedes anymore. Cultivator for the back of a Joskin tanker as well. Then we've got Swede harvester or potato harvester, depending on what you want to be harvesting. We've got a couple of those, T2, and then this one here as well, de-stoner in the middle. A couple of Roland trailers. We've got in this trailer there is a drill. This is the drill we used to drill all of our Swedes with, but it can drill all kinds of stuff, to be fair. And then the trailer was kind of custom built to take that around because it can't be folded up, so the trailer obviously allows you to move it around. Pichon tanker, 20 cube tanker, chrome rake, power harrow drill, Caverlin drill with a Kuhn power harrow, 6 meters, 12 row maize drill, some front weights and weight blocks, some sets of tyres and wheels, a couple grabs, some baler cord which we had tucked away at the back of the shed. It's a 10 row maize drill and an 8 row maize drill as well, all horse drills, along with over on the next line a lot of old spares, including some web for the harvesters and the destoners, etc. We've even got a fast track bonnet down the bottom end there, and a topper for when we grew Swedes. And then on top of that, the trusty handler horse lead. Obviously, one thing to mention on the lead is that, as many of you will be aware, there was damage to this section of the boom that was repaired in order for us to continue using it. Horsch have agreed that is to be fixed whether this sprayer sells in this auction or not. If it sells, it'll be fixed at the person buying its property. If not, they'll be fixing it for us. So rest assured, it is being sold as a fixed machine. Obviously, we've still been using it. It works absolutely perfectly as is. But if you're going to sell something, it's nice to know that it's been restored to factory. 8R370 and a couple of 250s as well, along with Chieftain fuel Bowser. We did originally have one other 250 in the sale as well, but on the way here this morning it sprung an oil leak, and obviously never a good look having a tractor in an auction, and if you're looking around it, there's an oil leak. So that's put paid to that one. That's going to go back to the workshop and get sorted out and get fixed. So pulled that one from the sale because until we've got that sorted, that'll remain with us, and it'll be on with us during maize harvest now. So that is essentially the majority of what we've got here, along with a lot of equipment, a lot of machinery and implements that the landlord here also has in the sale. So that's the auction update. So back to the action. We're now on farm near Winkley and continuing maize harvest for one of our customers. This will be going back to his dairy farm to feed his cows. You can see there as the maize feeds into the header, it looks like a decent crop. We're just filling Harry in the 370 and the Joskin Drakkar. They've already dusted off one field so far. These two fields are a little bit further away from the farm, and then we'll move closer. We'll just watch them hit this corner, and then we'll follow them coming back up that far headland from where we are. So just to give you a bit of a better view from in front, as Will works his way towards us. You can see, even though we've had a serious amount of rain in the last week, that actually the ground probably or definitely needed it, because it's very dry out there. Lovely conditions for harvesting maize. We'll watch Will just pull alongside the drone as we watch that wall of maize come down in front of him. And then from here we'll just do a little sped up video, Harry's trailer being filled and then him leaving the field. So I got the drone out as soon as I got here because I wasn't sure how much of the field was actually left, but there's plenty here obviously. We'll get down and recording from here because obviously I know a lot of you like to hear the sound of the machines as well rather than just the drone footage of what's going on. So at the moment, Dad's just been called off to Lewis as his trailer's blown a pipe, so Dad's just gone to sort that one out. So we're down to 4 trailers at the moment. It's ideally a 5-trailer run to keep up. These are the furthest fields, so once we're out of these we'll probably drop a trailer anyway, but yeah, not ideal timing just as we start for a pipe to go. Hopefully Dad can get that one sorted and we'll be back up to the full complement very quickly. The open day on the sale's now over. Saw a few people walking around, and we've also had a few people this week obviously coming and having a look beforehand. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. See if anyone's keen to have any nibbles on what we've got on offer. It will be a little less stressful and a little less phone calls now going forward, probably. I've been talking to a lot of people about machinery this week. But yeah, maize harvest is a go. And it should be us motoring on now for the foreseeable future. And yeah, this crop looks pretty good, possibly a touch green. I'll have to have a look at the harvester in a second and see what the dry matter is being made. That field that we did earlier was around about 30% dry matter, which is it's a touch too low really. We look to go at 31 and above. So yeah, in the next week or so everything should be bang on. But for where we are in the world, how high we are, and when stuff was drilled, it's about right. I can't see anyone else's crop around us necessarily being any further forward. With the varieties that we put in as well, we always make sure that we go reasonably early so that we haven't got to be messing about with it when it's too wet later on in the season, because that obviously comes with its own complications. And when you want to get a wheat crop in afterwards, it's in your interest to make sure that maize crop comes off rather than trying to chase an extra half a ton a hectare. It's better to get the crop off early without causing any mess and being able to get on that ground afterwards with the next crop going in. So we'll just watch a little bit more of the maize harvest while I'm up here. So he's just filling that trailer there, and the next one's ready to go. We've got an annoying gap in the trailers, obviously, where Lewis would have normally been. So Will was waiting there for a little while, and then 2 trailers come in reasonably quick succession, which is sometimes the way, unfortunately. So I believe this is Tony that Will's filling at the moment, or pretty much filled, to be honest. And then Andrew will pull up behind in his temporary vehicle and take on from him. And I want to see if I can get the name of this tractor, because I'm sure it's called an Arion. Leave a comment if you think it suits Andrew and that he should go for it long term. We'll just come out around the back so you can hear the noise of the forager. We'll leave today's video there. It's been a busy day, obviously. You've seen a lot of what's gone on. We also had Flynn trimming today in the morning, and then this afternoon we had a bit of drilling that we didn't see. And obviously this maize harvest and the sale that you've caught up with. Harvest is going to carry on here tomorrow. They're going to head off closer to the farm shortly once this field's done and start there. I don't know if I'll be out yet or not. I've got Ronnie's christening on Sunday, so a few things that need to be done, and yeah, stuff that I need to make sure sorted out. But if I can get out and record any of it, I will. Yeah, aside from that, it's just a case of thanks for watching, and see you next week. We should have plenty more maize harvest to show you. I'd have thought for customers as well as our own, as like I say, the maize is getting to the point now where it seems to be around about right. So everyone will start to be starting to want to go, and then obviously definitely within the next 3 weeks, Dad will be looking to get that wheat in the ground as well. Post maize harvest, we'll go with the focus and stick it straight into the maize stubbles. So it's going to be a busy month or two, and I'll be there to show you all of it. So yeah, stick around and see you next week. Cheers.